Hey there, welcome to my Florida butterfly garden. Today I'm just working on some random garden projects, but it's gonna be fun, so stick around. But first thing, I have a project I want my husband to do for me. I'm gonna show you what it is. I just went out inside and asked him to come out. I said, I have a project for you. But he hasn't necessarily agreed to do it, but let me show you what I want him to do. I probably shouldn't start my video with being in an ugly section of my garden, but you know what? It's for real, and that's what we do here on my channel. These are viburnum shrubs that have died, but they're still here. But what they do is they are supporting this entangled vine of Passiflora incense, which is the host plant to the zebra longwing and Gulf fritillary butterflies. And this will grow back and green up again. But if you can see, like towards the back, a lot of it is in the back. And it'll grow over the fence of my neighbors, who are fabulous, but they don't necessarily want my vine growing down their fence. See, this part here is still alive, all this viburnum, but you can see there's Passiflora incense up there coming out of it. So what I want my husband to do is to kind of tromp through back there and grab those live pieces of vine and kind of lift them up over to this side. So I'll let you know. I'll show you if he does it. We'll be back. Meanwhile, since I have been stuck in the house all last week with our crazy Florida winter, I just want to dig and plant. So in my little flower nectar garden, right here, nothing's really blooming. It just all looks green, but that's fine. It'll bloom. But I have a lot, not this is going somewhere else. This was just here for the cold. But I have a lot of other things in pots, and I'm either gonna move the pots out because some of them I just stuck in here when they were covered with the blanket to survive the freeze. But the other ones I want to actually just plant in this garden space and then just kind of inventory what's in here. I also have 2 starry rosin weeds that I want to plant in here. So this is where we're going to be working. And there's Ringo. He loves the snow square stem leaves. Like, he absolutely loves them. I don't mind him eating those as long as he leaves my zinnias alone. There are a couple of pentas in here that they don't look very happy either. I'm going to move out and over into my pentas garden because I really want this garden to be, these are kind of like my non-native, non-pentas garden. How's that sound? Except there are natives in here because I do have, well, look at this one all knocked over. The starry rosin weed in here. This is my combination native and non-native nectar garden that's not pentas. Isn't that fabulous? Okay, so let me dig these pentas up and find a new home for them in there. There's plenty of room. I've got a lot of potted pentas in there I can move around. I just had a little shovel in my hand. Like it was there. I don't understand when stuff like that happens. Does that happen to you or is it just me? It's gone. Okay, the vine thing didn't work. The Passiflora incense was too much attached to the dead branches that they were just breaking. So that endeavor was unsuccessful. Sometimes I can grab one of those vines, the green ones, and pull it and the whole thing will just come. But it said, no, we're not doing that, not today. I still haven't found my shovel. So I used my big shovel and I did move the pentas out. Let me show you where I put them. So there's one right down there, and then the other one is not far right there, and then there was a lavender one that has just not been doing well. So I found this little hidey hole back here and I put it down there. Now this garden was my original pentas garden and there are still some in here. So it should be happy here. And it's hidden away so it can just do its thing. And we'll just check back on it. Ringo will check back on it, see how it's doing. It's just got this one little green branch, but it'll grow back. And there's still one more pentas in here. I'm pretty sure this one is a white one. So I want to leave it here in the middle of this because white is the color that attracts those zebra swallowtails. So we'll have the one white pentas in here. It'll be fine. It'll be really pretty with this plant whose name I can never remember. Wild blue, wild indigo. Maybe that's it. Anyway, white pentas with this by it, beautiful. I'm gonna come in and look, you can see, look how cute. It's putting out little new growth already. But I'm gonna trim it back a little bit and freshen it up. And then we'll start planting. Look at all the space I have. So exciting. Oh my gosh, and look at that dirt. Oh, it's gonna be great to dig into that. I love it. I found it. I had set it down over there when my husband and I were trying to figure out how to get that vine over, and we just finally moved on. All right, let's go plant some plants. Okay, what do we want to put here? This little blue mist flower is seems to want to grow low and sprawly, which will be good in the front of the bed. So I think I'll put this one in here. Look at the roots coming out the bottom. To loosen it up a little. It doesn't want to come out of its pot. There we go. Oh, look at that poor little root system. You are gonna like it here. You can just stretch out and grow to your little heart's content. Beautiful. And I think I will plant. Is this a broken stem? Oh, it is. I'm so sorry. Oh, I wonder if I can root you. Let me take this one in and see if I can root it. Okay, I think I'm gonna put one of the starry rosin weeds in right behind it. There's just a fabulous earthworm climbing through there, so I'm trying to be careful. I want him to stay. look at this dirt. Oh gosh, it smells so good, y'all. It smells so good. Starry rosinweed is a plant that blooms all year. It's a Florida native, and I love it. Now these can get super tall. I mean, taller than me tall, but if you keep cutting them back, they will stay smaller, like this one, pretty low to the ground, because I want the plants in this center nectar bed to be lower, and then the taller plants will be growing along the sides in the side beds. I have another one of these to put in, and I've got this one here, and then I just put that one there, so maybe I'll even it out and put the other one right over there. And look, it's in the ground, and look, it's got 2 buds coming up, so we'll have some flowers soon. And let me tell you, these flowers are butterfly magnets, and that's why I wanted to get some of these starry rosinweeds planted down here in my nectar garden, as well as in my Florida native wildflower garden. And so now they'll be in here together with the Mexican sunflowers. Oh, it's going to be so fabulous. I can't wait till this garden section is just all blooming and there are flowers everywhere. But actually, I can't wait. I'm just grateful. I am grateful to have my blue sky and sunshine and warmer temperatures. And I know that all of that will come. So I just need to stop saying I can't wait and just enjoy days like this. Just like Ray's enjoying her day. I think I have 2 more plants to plant, and one of them is a bee balm. I forget what the other one is. Yes, this one is a bee balm. And this is one of the plants I got from Romance Gardens. Look at the pretty flowers it's supposed to get. Let's see, what does it say? It says it's upside down. Their tag's upside down. I wonder if they knew they did that. Okay. Grows well in the border, near ponds or streams. I don't have a pond or a stream. 36 to 48 inches tall. Oh, they do get tall, don't they? Only 3 through 8. Well, mine was covered, so it did just fine. I think I'm not going to plant this in this garden because it wants to get tall. The bee balm I've had before, I do remember getting super tall. So we'll hold off on that one. I think this one's a bee balm too. It's a different type, but I think I remember that it is. It's lost its tag. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to hold off on this one too, which means I'm out of plants for this space. Just for the moment though. You know, I'll get more. And look what's coming up right here. A zinnia. Is that not fabulous? There's some little thing coming up right there too. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so maybe I'll plant some more zinnias in here from my seedlings when they get bigger. So I think that's all I'm gonna do in that garden space for the moment. But there's lots of other things to be done. And I also want to report that besides my sweet little Atala that we released this morning, I haven't seen any butterflies in my garden today. We hit 70 degrees. Woohoo! But no butterflies yet. Hopefully one day this week. All right, you guys, it's Tuesday now, and I'm going to begin the process of transforming this area of my garden that you don't see often, because this was like my husband's little garden bed, but he is so busy with work, and he also has the front garden that he takes care of that we never see because I live in the backyard. I don't do the front yard. So this is all my stuff here. But it's looking kind of bad now because these porterweeds and the privet senna, those have been here and they've stayed. But he's just planted some smaller plants in and among here. And so I told him, you know, I'm taking over. I'll take over. Don't worry about it anymore. I'll just take over this section of the garden. And y'all know I'm just super upset about that. Having a whole new garden space to work in. I'm taking over. The whole yard is now mine. Backyard, front, sides, those are his. Backyard, all mine now. And first things first, I've got to do some maintenance on the privet senna and the porterweed in this area. I did not cover this privet senna, and actually it suffered in the cool weather we had back in December, and then it was hit again, and then it went through the freeze. It will grow back. It's a very old, it's maybe 4 or 5 years old, not very old, but 4 or 5 years old. So I know it'll grow back, but I'm going to go ahead and trim it back. And the privet sennas, these are these taller, frillier. These are Florida natives, host plant to cloudless sulfur, sleepy orange, and orange barge sulfur. They've got tons of seed pods on them, so I'm just going to trim off the seed pods because they make them look kind of drier and older. And I will collect some seeds from them. And once that's all done, then this part will be ready to grow back. There is some goldenrod coming up down in there, and then I have some plans to get some other plants to fill in the space. There's my cocoa plum right there that's gonna fill in. Hi, Ray. Are you helping in the garden today? So you can see there's a lot of empty space in here, so it's going to be really fun to get some new plants and fill in. And I want to use all natives because, or like zinnias or Mexican sunflower, but I'm probably going to stick with all natives just because I don't want to have to worry about covering them and protecting them from the cold. This is native plumbago, and it grows very sprawly, and it's the host plant to the cassius blue. There's some little blue butterflies, several varieties of them. I think multiple ones host on this. And they do. I mean, I'll see them all over my garden. I don't film them very often because they're tiny and they're fast. And they're really hard to capture on camera, but they do inhabit my garden and I love them. So all of that is going to stay right where it is, but I'm going to add some touches here and there. This is going to be a process. This is not all happening today. What is happening today is me trimming back the porterweed, which is not native, and the privet sennas. When I'm trimming porterweed, I like to trim down to where it first branches out. So you can see there's a branching here, and then this branch comes up and pushes out here, so I'll trim those ones down. Actually, I'm going to go right above where there's some new growth. And then this whole branch, look how it's twisted around. Isn't that cool? Comes up. I'll leave that one, but then I'll trim it back. Oh, you can see that one's dead. Let me just cut that whole one off. I'll trim it back right to, see where there's that little bit of new growth coming right there. So right above that. So look at the root base of this privet senna. It is going off in all kinds of ways. It's being held up by that concrete block right there because it kept getting wind blown from, 2 hurricanes that we had. So the middle parts of it are a little sparse. So as I'm trimming it back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down lower, like I did this one, where there is new growth coming out, and then it'll fill in lower and be a lot more full and dense. It'll also grow taller again. Like this branch right here, do you see how it just has the one branch going up, but there's not really green until the top? If I trim it down to here where this new growth is coming out, then it will bush out and fill out and be even fuller. There's some new growth coming right there, so I'll go just above it. And it will get tall again. They grow pretty fast. But there's still plenty of greenery for the butterflies to lay their eggs on. And this section right here is a porterweed entangled with the privet senna. Let me separate them out. So I'm going to dig in there and get that trimmed up. The privet senna blooms from fall to spring, so it's got a long bloom season. Of course, mine's not blooming right now because it's just been through a lot this year, but it's the host to the clouded sulfur that migrates here for the winter time. So it's nice that this is a evergreen and it blooms during winter. It's a great addition to a butterfly garden. Natives and the creatures, the living little beings they support, grow up together. They work together. And so because that plant has flowers on it right when the cloudless sulfur needs it, I mean, it's just perfect timing. They have perfect timing. Here I am talking about native plants, so I have these exotics behind me, my monstera. Oh, well, you got to have a little bit of everything. But the natives have perfect timing and know just when to bloom, just how much of what chemical to put in their leaves, how much nectar, the precise amounts of sugars, proteins, and all of those things that the little pollinators they support need. Natives. Butterfly garden essential. Okay, I'm going to go get back to trimming. I'll show you the results when I'm done. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. Look what happened to my pruners. Like the red covering split off and it slid down. Like I keep having to slide it back on. That's not right. Felco pruners, I expect better from you. Okay, but It looks so much better. It's amazing when you cut off dead or dried seed pods, how it makes it look greener, even though there's not a lot of greenery. Look at my Christmas cactus. Like you can see it through the other side now. And here's what it looks like from over here. And then that right there is a porterweed I trimmed back. And that right there is a porterweed. Right here is this poor little privet senna. Do y'all remember this one? This poor little thing got blown. It was laying flat on the ground. And I staked it up multiple times. It kept falling over. So finally I put in these two trellises to hold it. And it's still, look how wobbly it is. It's still really wobbly, but it's alive, you all. It's alive. So I was very methodical with my trimming. I didn't take off a lot, which is why it's still taller. Just because it's been through so much, anything that is alive on it, I kind of left it alone. So here's the porterweed I cut back. We have two Simpson stoppers we planted. Oh my gosh, there's a monarch butterfly. It's in the neighbor's yard. It just flew off there. Why is it over there? Oh, that was so good to see. I'm sorry I didn't get it on camera for you. Oh, maybe it'll be back. Okay, Simpson stoppers. These guys will grow taller. What my husband and I have decided is these viburnums here keep dying off, so every time one of them dies, we'll take it out and put in a native. But I think down here, I've got my cocoa plum. So I think in this area here and here, I'm going to get two more Jamaican capers because they are host plants. And they get beautiful flowers on them. So they'll grow up in here, but I'm gonna leave my little dog walkway back here. This is where the dogs run back and forth and play with the neighbor dogs. You can see they've got it all worn down. But I still want the taller backdrop to be there, so there'll be a nice row of native shrubs along there that'll provide a backdrop to whatever I end up putting in this garden space. I've got porterweeds, I've got my little planters of rue, and I've got some random potted things. Those will get taken care of eventually. I've got my privet sennas, two of them, and then I'm going to add Jamaican capers. I've got Simpson stoppers right there, cocoa plum. So we'll have like a nice collection in here. And then look at all this space I have to work with. I love it. I also think I'm going to pick up another Jamaican caper to put, actually probably would take two, I'm not sure, to put right down there. There was a viburnum there. I've got them flanked on either side, but the one in the middle died. So I think I'll pick up one to put in there also. Look, there's tomato plants growing up in there. I love it. So this is what we see when we come out the door, and that right there is a false indigo, but maybe in front of it or behind it, I'll put another shrub, native shrub, so we'll have the full backdrop. And then I'm gonna put a little walkway in here, and there is a fence post there. I'm gonna roll it out, so expand that whole garden area, make it even bigger. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this raised bed. Actually, I have an idea thanks to one of you, but I'm not sure yet, but I think I might. And I'm gonna start getting these potted zinnias out down at the other end of the garden where they're gonna get more sun. Maybe put them up on some of those. I have some raised planters over there so the dogs can't eat them. I might combine, like I could dig these ones out of here and put them here and just fill out the pots. I might do that. And those are some Mexican sunflowers and these are same types as zinnias that just decided they don't want to grow. There were some marigolds coming up, and there still are, but it's like they've paused. So I'll hold on to that and we'll see what happens there. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap this video up because I think it's pretty long, but I don't think you care if it's long, do you? And I'll see you in the next one. If you want to see the progress that I'm going to make filling out that garden space, there's a sulfur butterfly. Oh, that's two. We saw two. Well, you didn't. I did. If you want to see the progress with that garden space and how I redo the walkway and everything else in my backyard butterfly garden, then tap the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, tap the like button. And I will see you in the next one.